Welcome to Pullman, Washington. Martin Stadium, home to the Washington State Cougars, and the anticipation is running high on the Palouse. We've got a terrific matchup for you today, rich in pageantry and tradition, and it ought to be a fantastic clash. As we see a squad from the Big 12, the Kansas Jayhawks, taking on a team from the Pac-12, the Washington State Cougars. 3A Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollock, Jesse Palmer alongside. Guys, we can't wait to see this game. Been looking forward to it all week. Washington State ready to kick off as it's time to get things started. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So Kansas offense will have the football first. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
That bring it every. You can get other guys lined up. They're always motivated. They're always being a great teammate. These are the guys that coaches love.
And big-time players make big plays in big games, right? These are the guys that have to play well if they're going to win games like this. It'll be interesting to see what they do today.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Leaves it with the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And you can tell that play went nowhere from the start.
It was definitely a great play by that defender.
Oh, yeah, he got in the backfield so quick, the running back had absolutely no chance.
Gonna have to come up with a play on 3rd and 10 from inside their own 20. Back to throw, it's Daniels. That's caught, it's Henderson. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. That was a really well-run route on the curl to pick up the first down.
Yeah, and it's a nice job, too, by the receiver, getting his depth and then finding space in between.
And the Jayhawks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Red pass, it's complete. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
You complete some of these hitch throws early, you're setting up the hitch and go. Later on, you can pump fake that, and then the receiver can pirouette right up the sideline. That might be a home run play for the offense.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Flips it out on the screen. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Sometimes the timing of the screenplay, it takes a little bit of time to get some depth and a little bit of acting by the quarterback and the running back. Well, they didn't win an Oscar. Let's put it that way. Not good acting. That play went nowhere. The screen pass was not successful.
Picked up some yardage on that completion, but still a 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down.
It's a nice job by the receiver working past the sticks. Looked like it was going to be a first down by the offense, but how about the physical play knocking that ball loose?
The Jayhawks will send out the punt unit. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. So Washington State's offense has its first opportunity of the day. But Jesse, it's always fun to see a guy who's been challenged, see if he can answer the bell and get things done.
Well, we talked to him this week, and he knows that people are out there questioning him. I think that leaves a big chip on his shoulder, David. He wants to prove to the entire college football world he's got what it takes to win this football game. This is a big test for him.
And here's the thing. Proving it is one thing, Jesse, but it's not about you. And this is a team game. Obviously, the quarterback position is so dependent on others' success, but play within yourself, make those plays, don't make the big mistakes.
They'll move the tight end. From the shotgun, they'll run it. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Offside. Defense.
And this is what's going to drive coaches crazy. It's mental errors, right? It doesn't take any talent or lack of talent to have that penalty. You just got to watch the ball, and when it's snapped, get after the quarterback.
That's reeled in. It's Johnson.
In college football, you see this a ton now. You use a quick passing game, basically as the running game. Get a few yards, get your offense ahead of the sticks, keeps it on pace for success.
The Cougars with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Back to pass. Rushes on him. All alone as he catches it. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
Defense, what are we doing? You can't miss that guy. How are you going to leave the big fella wide open? You can't act like you didn't see him line up. You know where he is. You knew coming into the game he's a weapon. That had to be a coverage bust.
The defense's head may still be spinning. They're just outside the red zone now. 1st and 10 from the 22. Going up top again. Under fire. And the defense, they've got him at the 27.
That is an example of a defender just stepping up and making a play. You just gave up a big completion down the field. That's not going to happen again. That's not happening on my watch. Right away, that D lineman decides to go after the QB, and he makes a big play.
The Cougars trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. The give out of the gun. Tough run, gets it into the red zone, and they knock him down at the 17.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
Washington State has it in the red zone. Shotgun snap on 3rd down. Got it in the middle. It's Meriden. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. That's why you never assume the first guy's going to make the tackle, and you have to keep running to the football.
Man, it's something you highlight every single week in defensive meetings. Don't assume somebody's going to make it. Don't assume somebody's going to make it. Take the correct angle. Nice job. First guy misses. Second guy gets him on the ground, forces the 4th down, throws that fist up in the air.
Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And with that, they break the seal.
This is a team that really prides themselves on starting fast. We've seen that before, and here they are playing at home today. Nice job on the opening drive. Lots of poise, good emotion. They don't get the touchdown they would have liked, but they kick a nice field goal. They've got the lead. Head coach has to be happy with that. Here
he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Off play action on 1st down. He's got his man. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down.
I like the mitts, the big fella coming in with the catch. Hey, running a little bit of a route, showing a little wiggle, getting open, throw him the football.
Let's get set for 2nd down. Looking downfield, it's Daniels. Throws for the tight end. Got him downfield. Finally corralled, but not before. He picked up the 1st down.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. Now they'll try to cash in this drive. 1st and 10 from the 50.
Really good surge that time by the offensive line. You saw all those bodies by the defense being pushed backwards. That opened up the crease for the ball carrier. He's able to get a really nice gain there, setting up 2nd and inches.
And the Jayhawks have a lot of options on 2nd and inches. From the gun, the running back has it. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, second and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's third down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation. And David, on 3rd and inches right there, that's often a decision the quarterback predetermines. Who's my best guard? That's the guy I'm going to try to get behind.
And I know that defensively, too, but I'm just trying to dive and create a pile, but it's so hard to stop that play. That's why you see it ran so successfully.
The Jayhawks with the 1st and 10. They've softened them up with a run. Now to throw it. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on...
Well, it was a good throw. It was a good route, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
How about the speed on defense? Offense trying to get tricky, trying to run the quarterback outside, but the pursuit and the speed by this defense, they got to him quick.
And the Jayhawks need a massive chunk play to move the sticks here on 3rd down. Back to throw, it's Daniels. Fires to the wideout. That one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one. It would have been a high-level play, but it's a play this quarterback expects to be able to make when he has a guy open.
Man, these quarterbacks start practicing and doing 7-on-7 and having quarterback coaches when they're like 7 years old, 8, 9 years old now. So even when they don't have wide open wide receivers, you still expect them to fit that ball in there and make it happen.
Their own end tipping at their heels as they start this drive from their own 2. They'll try it over the left side. Got enough for the 1st down and wants more. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
That's a big run play, and it's not easy to do. Down at this area of the field, backed up in your own end. I mean, you're running into a box that's loaded full of bodies defensively, but the ball carrier was just able to sort of sneak and weave his way through there, giving his offense now a ton of room to work with.
Quarterback keeps it. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
By the quarterback. Loses 5. 2nd down coming up.
And the Cougars now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. Here's the handoff. He's knocked down a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is every defensive coordinator's dream, right? Watching your defense go out on 1st down, TFL, 2nd down, TFL. Now you set up 3rd and long. Everybody knows they're going to throw it, and your pass rushers can pin their ears back. Outstanding job being physical by this defense.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Slithers into space. He works his way to the 21-yard line. Not enough to pick up the 1st down.
On a big 3rd down, love the discipline by the defense there. You got everybody with their eyes on the quarterback, rallying to the football, showing good speed on D. Nice tackle. Love the team defense.
Washington State will have to boot it away. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. He will signal for the fair catch and take it just inside the 35. This drive will get underway from just inside the 35 at their own 34. Oh, he's got a chance. He'll step out of bounds right at the 44. A big-time pickup on that one. Lance Leipold is a 6-time national champion at the Division III level, but last season a step back for the Jayhawks as they were plagued by turnovers and close losses.
Yeah, and Jalen Daniels just needs to stay healthy. This is a guy at quarterback that when he does, and he's playing at a high level. This offense is just up and down the field. They're lighting up the scoreboard. They got to keep him healthy. He's got to be consistent. If they do that, Jayhawk fans will be cheering a lot.
Well, I think that's the thing that's fun, though. If you're a rock chalk Jayhawk fan now, you know you've got an exciting offense. You win a few more close games a year ago. There's no telling what that season could have been. So still a lot of reason to be excited about being a Kansas Jayhawk fan.
They have a first down at the 41-yard line. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Quickly to the tight end. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, it's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Handoff to the lone back. Defense holds their ground. Pickup of a yard. It's at the 26.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. Got it, looking for the first down. This defense makes a play, stopping him well short, and it'll be 4th down from the 24.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
Nestled just inside that right upright. And that's going to give us a tie ball game here in the 1st.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. To the air on 1st down. Just a short pass to the tight end. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the 1st down. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
Catch in the middle, it's Meriden. They've got it out to the 34 after getting 5 there. From the 34 on 1st down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington State. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
When you can run like that, the quarterback is going to give you opportunities. And look at him run by the defenders. QB sees it, stick the hand up in the air, catch the football, get to the end zone.
Lining up for the PAT.
On for the extra point.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish the drive with a 64-yard scoring toss. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. On the option. He'll pitch it. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. A tremendous run. He was full bore after taking that pitch. Just sweet execution.
And this defense has to be so disciplined. Like, you just got to understand, I can't all go for the quarterback, and too much attention on the quarterback. We didn't play the pitch really well. That's why this offense is really hard to stop.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
You go with the option, quarterback keeps it himself, and look, we've seen this guy on tape, guys, break these tackles and take it the distance. This option plays, don't let that short gain from running this scheme in your playbook.
Hand off from the shotgun. And after the stop, that is going to put a bow on this first quarter. How about these two running games so far? Dominance on the ground as we look at the first quarter stats. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. So they had a chance to talk over this third down play to open the period. Wants to throw. It's Daniels. Looking down the middle. And the third down pass incomplete after a good deflection by the defense.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. You set up third and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force fourth down.
The Jayhawks will line up to punt it away. Fair catch is made inside his own 20 at the 17-yard line. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Going right to work up top. And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it.
Well, man, I mean, you don't get more wide open than that, right? Big fella running down the field. Nobody near him. Quarterback puts it on him.
Behind the chains now on second and long. Looking to fire. Catch in the middle. It's Johnson. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
You see this more and more in college football. Motion the running back out of the backfield. What am I looking for? I'm looking to see if it's man coverage. Does the linebacker go and chase him? If he does, guess what I get to do? Take advantage of my matchup. I like my speed better than yours.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, the defense is waking up now, right? The first drive, they allowed a touchdown. They were a bit scrambled. They kind of all got together, rallied on the sideline. They've been pretty lights out since. Forced a punt on the last possession. They've now got the offense set up in fourth down again. Great job there. Pass defense, third down. This defense now starting to put it together.
Slips through the line. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Kansas gets the ball back, and the Jayhawk offense is ready to go to work. They had to punt it away on their last possession, but man, what great field position this time.
I mean, this is awesome. Like, last possession didn't go great. Now you're set up in an opportunity to get some points. Start thinking about what plays I like, Jesse, as I cross the 50.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there, David, and in this position, they like to take a shot right away and try and capitalize on this field position.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake. Slides away. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
That is how you start a drive. Meet the physical challenge on first down. rush the quarterback, get the sack on second down, and now put him in a 3rd and long situation. Nice job by this defense.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Trying to escape and get it himself. At the 40, there he goes. He's out of bounds after a really nice game, but there is a marker on the field.
Hold it.
Just when they thought they had the big play, the penalty wipes it out. Dropping back, it's Daniels. Blasted as he lets it go. Just masterful working that sideline and getting the toe down for the catch.
I mean, the great news is he just came up with a huge completion on 3rd down, but the bad news is...
And it looks as if they've buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. And they take another look at the play, but the officials on the field were right, and the play will stand. They boot it away. No opportunity to run it back as the ball goes out of bounds. They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. Grabbed over the middle. It's Meredith. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on 2nd down here.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the in route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
The Cougars come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
You just need more from your offensive line. 2nd and short like that, you'd love to be able to fire off the ball and pick that up running it, but the defense was able to get penetration. They were able to get a stop, and now you set up 3rd down, and this offensive line is going to have to play a lot better here.
Here's the snap, looking to throw. They're setting up the screen. No, sirree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
And man, that is not the 3rd down execution you want. Trying to get it to a playmaker so he can make plays. He gets nowhere, actually loses yards, and brings up a 4th down now.
Washington State sends the punt team onto the field. Fair catch is brought in at the 43, and they are set up nicely. They'll open this drive and snap it from the 44. The give is to Williams. Gets it past the marker. Crosses the 30. He's got away. Boy, are they loving that huge play. He's got it down to the 9.
I want to have consistency in my run game. I tell you what, this is how you do it. You don't have to always make the big play, but if you give it enough time, it's like Novocaine. You keep feeding it, all of a sudden, boom, you make a big play off of it. You could tell the offense stuck with it, and they were rewarded for it.
And that big gainer on the last one has them threatening from inside the 10. The option look. He'll toss it. They weren't going to let him loose again after that big play. This time they knock him down behind the line.
This offense is perfectly fine with a little game because they're going to make you tackle this all game long. They're going to make you think all game long. So they'll keep running it ad nauseum and just wait for that one opportunity when you don't do your assignment.
The run up the middle, trying to power to the goal line. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling.
Now listen, the defense won that play. As an offense here, the key, David, you can't go back-to-back negative plays. You got to be smart with the football here. Looks like you're going to have to throw it. You just can't force it. You got to make sure you're playing with that clock in your head. You can't take a sack.
And I think this is a situation where I spread you out. I get more speed on the field. I make the defense declare. I see what they're in, but I'm definitely throwing the football.
They won't let him in. He had a nose for that end zone, but he will be stopped short.
And I tell you what, he drops back to pass, nothing really open, tries to scramble, but now because he got a little bit more yards, is this maybe decision time on 4th and goal, down by more than a field goal? This might be time to go for it.
Back to throw, it's Daniels. Will not get there. A 4th down stop. The Cougars buried deep in their own territory, just trying to find breathing room on 1st down. That hole closed quickly. He'll get 1 out to the 6.
And sticking to the run. I'll tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Sends it back in motion. Got it behind the line. It's Voorhees. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the 1st down before he's dragged to the ground.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the 1st down.
Backed up at the 16-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Wants to throw on 1st down. Oh, they're after him. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. Not sure exactly what led to that, whether the protection wasn't right or the quarterback just didn't see it, but the result was a negative play and a sack.
But one thing I do know is that quarterback had no chance to get that ball downfield. That pocket was breaking down, and it was breaking down quickly. There were just too many bodies in that backfield for the QB to make anything happen.
And the Cougars have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Ellison. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
Great play by the cornerback. He was just way too physical at the point of attack. He beat his man trying to block him, and he tackled that receiver on the screen.
The Cougars need their binoculars to find that line to gain here on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Fires one high and deep. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Defense needed that stop badly. They gave up a touchdown. They gave up a field goal. Here they are and find a way to get off the field. So really nice job on a critical 3rd down, forcing an incompletion.
Washington State sends out the punt unit. Fair catch is brought in at the 43, and they are set up nicely. First snap of this drive comes from their own 44. To the air, it's Daniels. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
It seemed like there may have been a miscommunication there between the QB and receiver, just not on the same page.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Quickly out to the tight end. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the 1st down.
Yeah, nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
Wow, this offense is just stuck in the mud. They've already punted 4 times, and it's 3rd down now. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a 3rd down stop.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
And the Jayhawks will bring the punt team onto the field. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
Man, this offense, they gotta find something. They gotta get in a rhythm somehow. So far, no success, not protecting the quarterback. Really, the only good thing I can say so far is they haven't turned the football over.
This pass rush has just been relentless, and you can bet your bottom dollar they're about to bring the heat again. To the air on second down. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
This offense really is putting themselves behind the 8 ball right now on this drive. Sacked first down, just thrown an incompletion. So third in California. Defense knows you're probably going to throw it. What can you dial up here?
The Cougars are way behind the sticks on this third and forever. From the gun, wants to pass. Pocket breaking down. Makes the grab. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Nice job by the defense there on third and long, just sitting back and keeping everything in front of them. They give up an easy completion, but because they were able to rally and make the tackle, now they set up fourth.
Washington State will have to boot it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He'll field the punt and look for room. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. The RPO, it's complete. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down.
Great execution on the RPO, and the receiver had some time to find the soft spot in the zone and make himself open for the quarterback and make it a much easier pass. Great job.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 35. The handoff as they run the counter play here.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. From the gun, running back on the move. Plows ahead for a pickup of 1 to the 32. They got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. To the air, it's Daniels. A shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Rock Chalk. They went for it all, and it paid off with the score.
And I think in the pre-snap, I think both of these guys were on the same page. They had a look defensively that let them know we can pitch this thing way down the field. I'm going to go run under and make a big play for you.
Yeah, and when I'm the receiver, I'm like, I'm open, right? I'm going straight down the field. Throw me the football. I got the speed. I can beat this guy. You can tell they've done that so much in practice. They knew it was second nature, and they executed it perfectly.
Looking for the tie with the extra point. And he added the extra point. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they cap it off with a 32-yard touchdown pass. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Not much there. Picks up a couple to the 22.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Wide receiver going in motion. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. There he goes. Nice pickup on the ground there. They'll move the sticks for the first down. Not much can impose your will on a defense like popping a big run.
Especially when they know you're going to run it, right? This offense right now is just more physical. They're more physical up front in the trenches. And this running back and his ability to break tackles, that is just so demoralizing for this defense.
Leaves it with the back. Inside the 45. An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down. Gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
And on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Back to pass. That's caught. It's Freeman. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. The clock winds down to 2 minutes, and we will take a pause for the 2-minute timeout. They're facing a third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
Well, it's a great job by the back end of the defense that time, making up for what the front end of the defense couldn't do. The quarterback had all day to throw that ball, but it was the hit and coverage that forces the incompletion.
And they're going to head out to line up for a field goal. Tried to give it enough body English, but he missed it. And here in the second quarter, missed field goal leaves us tied, guys. They'll put it in play from the 36 for the first play of the drive. Wide receiver comes in motion. Looking to throw, it's Daniels. Gets away. Throwing right. A strike downfield. And he'll ramble to the 34 before he's finally knocked down.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. Looking to the big tight end. Makes a connection. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it first and goal.
And a really good job focusing on the catch. A lot of people get lost on their feet and trying to stay in bounds, but did a good job catching the football first and then getting that 1 foot they needed in bounds.
The Jayhawks will try to put one on the board on first and goal. Motion from the wide receiver. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Stopped in the backfield, and that'll be a loss of 2.
Offense trying to go push pass on first down on the goal line, but the defense, tremendous surge up front. They get penetration, and they get the tackle for loss.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. The run up the middle, trying to steamroll his way in. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. Now third and goal, and tough yardage to cover here. He wants to throw it. Get it out on the screen. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. And now on fourth down, they'll try a field goal. No good. After that failed field goal attempt, fellas, still tied. tie ball game.
And these are the ones that make me want to remove kickers from a game. I mean, this is a chip shot field goal. It should be an automatic 3. He misses. Wasted drive, wasted opportunity.
Power football with the run. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on 1st down and set up a short yardage on 2nd down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on 2nd down.
Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. Complete downfield. They finally make the stop, but that one will make those halftime stats look a little nicer as we head to the break. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Thanks, fellas. Looks like you've had a very enjoyable day there today in Pullman. And it's clear the aerial attacks of both teams have been relentless. They've been burning each of these secondaries like toast. Just an assault on the defensive game plans, if there even were defensive game plans. Gotta think, fellas, based on the first 2 quarters, we're going to see every route in the route tree again in this second half. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas on the Palouse at Martin Stadium.
And the Jayhawks will line up to kick off and start the second half. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. This drive will open from the 15. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. And the Cougars can really attack on this 2nd and short. He'll keep it himself. And he gets it just beyond the line of scrimmage before he gets down.
Well, they try to go quarterback design run on that play, but the defense just not buying it. Nice job, everybody playing downhill and making a tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
The Cougars are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the 1st down.
Hey, really nice job on defense, too. Understanding the situation. It's 3rd down. We're fine giving up completions right there, but we're not giving up the 1st down. We're keeping the football and the ball carrier in front of us, and we're tackling the catch. Awesome job, and now you've set up 4th down.
They punt it away on 4th down. Catches it at the 30. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. They'll try to put a drive together starting from the 36. Got a man, it's Henderson. Good pickup there as he gets the 1st down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
Nice job by the receiver there, running the drag route against zone coverage, finding the soft spot, making it easy on his quarterback to get the completion. He turns it upfield, and he moves the sticks.
Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48. Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads to the wideout. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Finding an escape route.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
The Jayhawks are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. Pulls and fires complete. On the move at the 30. all the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks. It's first down.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Here's a quick throw out to the left.
The thing I like about the slot receiver, he's really intentional in his route run. The quarterback always knows exactly where he's going to be on the field. They've got great chemistry together.
And the Jayhawks with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
That's how you come up and make plays as a defense, man. Playing physical, playing downhill. They've given up some plays today, man. He's got over 100 yards on the day. He's really had some success on that play. Really downhill, really physical, and a nice job getting him to the ground.
Dropping back, it's Daniels. He finds a soft spot in the middle. Touchdown, Rock Chalk Jayhawks! And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half. Timing and better execution, that is just what a quarterback and wide receiver need.
And it's timing, it's route running, right? You got to be precise. You got to know exactly what yard you're running to. The quarterback, receiver on the same page. That's why you get the touchdown.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. They put together a 65-yard drive for the score. And the capper, a 19-yard toss for the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. A lot of work to do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. They'll send the tight end in motion. Out of the gun, the running back has it. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Wants to go up top. Finds his tight end. And they pick up just one. It'll be 3rd and 9.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking deep down the right side. Grabs it at the 25 in stride. Inside the red zone, and they are set up at the 17.
Defense is a lot about communication. Multiple wide receivers on the same side. I got to understand if this guy's going in, this guy's coming out. Not a good job by the defense with communication there.
The entire complexion of this possession changed on that one play. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 20. Now from inside the red zone. Looking for the score. Touchdown, Wazoo! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
And how about the offense? They spread them out. Everybody spread wide. Easier to read a defense when you do that. They find the matchup they want, and they get rewarded with a score.
The extra point here would tie the game.
For the extra point.
And after that extra point, we have a tie ball game in the third quarter. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the score comes on a 17-yard throw for the touchdown. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. From the gun, they'll try the middle. Breaks the tackle. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22.
And a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
It'll be 3rd and long. To throw, it's Daniels. Finds the tight end. He'll step out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, and maybe they've got something cooking.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Tight end finds a soft spot. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
That's just a tremendous individual effort by the defender. He's able to defeat his block and get to the ball and get the ball down on the ground. Very, very nice job.
The Jayhawks with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Second down, he'll throw it. He's got it. Good pickup there as he gets the 1st down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you could tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
And the Jayhawks have this offense rolling. Quarterback on the keeper. And he'll lose yardage on this play. Loses 2 yards. Great job by the defense.
Well, one of the reasons this offense likes the option game with the quarterback is to use his speed and try to attack the perimeter of the field. The defense, though, not having any of it. You saw the contain on the play, forcing him back in the middle of the field, and they're able to corral him for a huge loss.
It's complete to the right. Still running at the 40. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down.
Nice job decision-making by the quarterback there in the RPO, not handing it off, knowing he had to throw it, but then also understanding his open guy was going to be in the right flat.
The Jayhawks back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Looking for a man. It's Daniels. Fires to the wideout. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd down.
Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Knocked down at the 29 after a pickup of 4. Feel good about their field goal chances from the 29, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. The number one job is to protect your quarterback, and they weren't able to do it long enough that time.
This offensive line, Reese, they've got to do a better job communicating pre-snap and try and figure out which people on defense are going to be rushing the passer. Right now, this offense just looks confused up front.
And it looks as if they're going to try a field goal. He's going to try to knock one through from 49 yards away. Never a doubt for this big-footed guy. 49-yard field goal is good.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. He'll return it. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Most offensive schemes are predicated on first down productivity. That will not go down as a productive first down play.
No, it will not, Reese. Give this defensive line credit because they were able to get penetration right off the snap and force a negative play.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. They'll run play action. Here's a heat. Pulls it in. Has plenty for the first down, and they stop him at the 28.
It's really hard when you get in those predictable situations. Defenses are sitting on the sticks. Receivers have to understand where that first down marker is. Heads up play, nose for the first down marker. Get in there and get it.
Now on first down from the 28. He's in open space downfield. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Didn't find much room on the return, but now they are in business and poised to strike from the 25. The Kansas offense returns to the field. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play calling.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field. Just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
So now it's 2nd and long. The give to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
This defense obviously knows they've got to be able to stop the run if they're going to win this football game. And you wonder if they've been able to make some tweaks and adjustments to try and take this running back away.
3rd play of the drive, and they need to make something happen here on 3rd and long. Now on the option. Now the pitch. Good pickup on that one. They will stop him short of the line to gain, and now we'll see what they do on 4th down from the 17. They could tie the game here with a field goal, but instead looks as if they'll go for it on 4th down. Looking for a push on 4th down. Oh, he's got some space. Huge game before he goes out of bounds, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Man, on 4th and 2, I'm looking at my offensive line. I'm like, you got to give me just a little slither. Great job by the offensive line, blocking up just enough to get the first down, running physically downhill. That's all you want on those 4th and 2 situations.
And the Jayhawks have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great play by the defense there. And listen, they got to do more of this. Running backs obviously had a lot of success. They got to continue to stop this run game, be physical, and not let this guy beat him.
After getting nothing, it's 2nd and goal from the 6. Tight end now in motion. QB draw. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on 3rd down.
Makes the catch. Almost in, but they'll say he didn't make it, inches away from the touchdown.
Nice job by the defense there. They knew coming into this one, this running back was dangerous catching the football, so really good job getting him down on the ground, now setting up 4th and goal.
And here comes the field goal unit. The distance is no problem, but this angle from the left can test you. Oh, and he missed it. No good. It's still a 3-point game after the miss.
Well, that's one the kicker would like to have back. That's a kick he should be making in his sleep.
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. The give on the option. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, that is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Quickly to the tight end. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
I tell you, this quarterback has just been in a great rhythm all game long. With that last completion, he's now over 300 yards passing.
They'll snap it from the 39, 1st and 10. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
We'd love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Cougars can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. And a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on 2nd down. Now the play fake. Fires to the big fella. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the 1st down. There's not a lot more beautiful in football than the play action and the open tight end.
Because it freezes those linebackers, it freezes those safeties because they have to come up for a second and play the run, and then the big tight ends, big targets on the back end can catch the football and make big plays.
The give to the tailback. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
All right, great little run there. Listen, it wasn't phenomenal. He didn't get a 1st down, but what does it do? Now it makes 2nd down easier. The play caller looking at his sheet going, all right, I can throw it, I can run it, still in a great position, ready to stay ahead of the chains.
And the Cougars in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Grabbed behind the line, it's Ellison. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down. The Cougars, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. Off the RPO, complete. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play, in prime position for a score.
Great job by the quarterback there. He saw the safety bite on the run fake. So as the safety comes running downhill, he now knows he has the slant throw to his receiver on the outside.
And a touchdown here would not only give them the lead, but in the fourth quarter, that ramps up the pressure. Grab behind the line. It's Voorhees. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to bow up, try to force the field goal. Nice job on first down and goal, getting them tackled to the ground.
They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on 2nd and goal. Rides the back and leaves it. Touchdown, Cougars. And with that, they move out front here in the 4th.
And this is a running back, guys, that gets better as the game goes on. Here we are late in this one, and he's still breaking off big runs. Impressive, making people miss, showing you the speed. And that touchdown gives his team the lead.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. They put together an 81-yard drive, and they finished it off with a score from the 4. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. The give is to Williams. Got it across the 20 and out to the 23. A pickup of 4. So what do they have for 3rd and short from their own 23? Back to pass, it's Daniels. Grabbed in the middle, it's Henderson. Nice job to get it past the sticks, and they get him down at the 35.
Really nice job there by the quarterback, understanding that it's zone coverage on 3rd down. You're going to have to find someone working into a soft spot, make an accurate throw, and pick up the 1st. Well done.
Wants to go up top on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. 2nd down coming.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Fires to the tight end. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
That was a nice catch right near the line of scrimmage. Man, you want to get some yak after the catch and try to make a play, but that defense was right on him. Got him on the ground too quick.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet.
How about that critical moment in the 4th quarter? He hasn't really had a lot of success on the ground, but you put the ball in his hands. It's a pass play. You want to throw it, but he makes a very good decision. He tucks it. He gets the first down. That's a big-time play in the fourth quarter by this quarterback.
Got his man on the right. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
And here comes the offense on second down. Scanning the field, it's Daniels. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was knocked loose, and third down is coming. Trying to pick up a first down. On third and long, try to convert through the air. He's got him this time. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36.
And that's a first down for the offense.
The Jayhawks come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll run the toss. This time they stop him behind the line of scrimmage, and boy, that has been rare in this one.
I like the idea of going toss to the field, but you got to have better blocking by your wide receivers out there on the perimeter. They didn't get it done, and as a result, that's a negative play.
The lost yardage leaves them with 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete. They've methodically worked it down the field. This is the 11th play of the drive, but the defense can get off the field now. Looking for the end zone. Oh, he dropped it on the money. You just have to make that catch.
What a play by the defender there, guys, in his own end zone. The offense has taken a shot, and if that defender was just one step behind, that would have been a touchdown, but the hit forces the incompletion.
So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. And he's got it counted all the way to 55. Never in doubt.
And this offense obviously wanted to take the lead, but they chip into the lead a little bit. Now they're going to need their defense. Just give me another opportunity. They only need a field goal in the fourth quarter. Nice job cutting into that lead.
After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away. He'll bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. He leaves it with his back. Works his way ahead for 3. They'll spot it at the 18.
And ball security at this point is at a premium for this offense. You're backed up in your own end. You've got the lead, so you want to be able to run the football and stay on the field, bleed the clock. But you know the defense is going to be ripping away at it, right? They're going to be trying to get hats to the football and forcing a fumble. So whoever's got the ball has got to have 2 hands on it this drive.
Got his man quickly. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35. You know, we joked that the tight end's always open, David, but play action almost makes it impossible to keep them covered.
And yeah, because those guys, they're such good blockers most of the time. They're big and physical, and they sell block for a second, and then they run open and they find holes in zones, or they get good matchups. And, man, those tight ends nowadays are nightmares for defenses to try to stop.
And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down.
Yeah, nice run, and I think everybody knows. He's right there next to that 100-yard mark, 98 yards on the day. And that's a mark, man. When you hit that mark a lot of times and you take care of the football, you win a lot of football games. It's the more physical team. It's the team that makes it easy, makes it easier on their quarterback, and they've done that today.
How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
Gotta love the way the defense is playing here on this drive. Down in the game in the fourth quarter. They're expecting run, and they're getting stops these last two snaps. If they can get a big play here, they've got an opportunity to get off the field and probably get pretty good field position to put their offense in a position to maybe go score.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. He lost it high and deep down the left side. He's got it along the sideline. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7. What a tough break for the defense. You get a hand on the football, and they still make a big play.
Man, how difficult is that? The ball is deflected. To be able to keep your eyes on the football, continue to concentrate from a fortuitous bounce, Reese. A nice break to him, makes the catch, makes the big play down the field.
So this offense with an opportunity to put this game in a hammerlock if they can score and bleed the clock. Looking to throw. Looking for the goal line. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
The offense trying to throw it there quickly down close to the goal line. Nice job by the defense tackling the catch.
They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on 2nd and goal. Looks as if he's going to run it. Touchdown, Washington State! And they take it in for 6 more points.
It's just so nice to have a signal baller who can make plays through the air and make plays with his feet like this. Runs in for the touchdown. The defense knows I have to account for him every play. That's my quarterback.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And he splits the uprights and pushes the lead to 8 here in the 4th. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. Pulls it in. It's Canty. And they picked up 9 on 1st down. It'll bring up 2nd and short.
This is the moment for this offense to put a drive together. It doesn't matter what's happened up to the point of this game, but you're trailing right now. You got to put some points up on the board. This is where all 11 guys need to be playing together as one.
Motion from the back. Creates a little room. Turning it on. And an explosive play has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
The give is to Williams. Got enough for the 1st. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
I love the play called running the football here in the 4th quarter, because with the score what it is right now, everything is at your disposal on offense. You are not panicking. This isn't throw every single down, all of a sudden 2-minute air raid type stuff. You can run the ball. You can do all of your stuff, personnel, shifting, motioning. Just got to be very, very careful and absolutely cannot turn it over.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
It's an offense that takes pride in being physical. They try to get it going on the ground, but no gain on that one.
Just know where to run. Not a lot of wiggle room for the ball carrier.
This defense came in knowing that they had to match their physicality. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Off play action. Shoots it to the left. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
What a hit by the defender. That's a good throw, and that was going to be caught, but how about the defender dislodging the football from its intended target? Nice job.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Looking for a man. It's Daniels. Starting to feel a little pressure. They'll force him out of bounds after a solid pickup on the play.
Man, this defense has their hands full today because not only do they have to worry about the running backs and not only do they have to worry about the passing game, they've got to worry about this quarterback running the football because of plays like that. Not a huge explosive play, but he showed you the athleticism and he showed you he has the ability to hurt you with his legs.
Needs it to keep this drive alive. And the Jayhawks will keep this drive going.
4th and short, a lot of times you know what's coming. I know what's coming. Who's going to be more physical? They give it to the running back. O-line does their job. Nice pickup on 4th and short.
The Jayhawks pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work. Coming out on first down with the catch. It's Williams. Breaks into the open. He is pushed out of bounds at the 19-yard line.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
And the Jayhawks have pushed it inside the 20. Running the red zone, it's Williams. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
And, you know, when we talk about great third down defenses, it really starts with them getting stops on first and second down. You've got to get those stops early in the drives to set up third and long, so that's a missed opportunity on that second down by this defense.
And here we go, down a score. They'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. He gets it all the way down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal from the 8.
I love the play call by the offense here running the ball. The score is what it is right now. You don't have to panic. You don't have to throw it every single down. You don't have to go up tempo. Just run your stuff. Be balanced. Run the football. Make sure this defense stays honest.
They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far in this game, and I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
You know, you're in the red zone. You bring out a bunch of tight ends on the field. So the defense, they were expecting a run on that one. They were physical, and they were able to force the negative play.
If they can get it into the end zone here, they can really turn up the heat in this one. 3rd and goal. And he can't get it off. Taken down. What a huge play this late in the game.
3rd downs are so crucial in quarterbacks. You want them to be, elite with their functioning, be able to go through their progressions, get rid of the football, not take sacks. But they just took a sack. How about the individual effort by that defense, understanding 3rd down and getting to the quarterback?
Going for 6. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Good timing on the quick out.
You know, the defense doesn't have an answer for this slot guy right now. They may want to think about bracketing him, having a defender play to the outside and to the inside. Probably some sort of zone coverage where you're trying to get 2 bodies, forcing the quarterback to have to go somewhere else with the ball.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Safe completion on the screen. He's knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the 25.
And he didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If you could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
It'll be a run on 3rd and short. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. The Cougars just want to hold on to this ball for the final minute. Keeps it on the draw. He never had a chance on the draw. Tackled almost as soon as he got the ball. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. I'd expect we're going to get another dose of the running game at this point, even though it's 2nd and 11. Working that wide receiver screen. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. Quarterback's just going to take a knee. Washington State sends the punt team onto the field. They'll look to pin them deep. Here's the fair catch, and he'll make it close to the 20-yard line. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. Looking to pass. It's Daniels. Finds a man on the left. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
Gain of 19 on the play. First down for the offense.